Absolutely.
They should
because
be.
they also steal
And now that we've turned into
taxpayers'
politics,
money,
now that
yes.
you've brought in the politics, I think our politicians are also getting at a stage where they're becoming very creative. And let's start with KJ. KJ, I think, has got a function that's coming up. And he has said that politics is not funny, but rather he, being a comedian, is taking advantage of the fact that he can bring comedians together in terms of creativity of how they are trying to get this done. So if we can have that picture of KJ's function that's coming up, and it's called Comedy Roast of John Carrier, basically bringing comedians together to raise money for him. So your thoughts on the creativity that politicians are using?
I think it's wonderful. I saw the leaflet yesterday. I think it's refreshing, and it gets to explain where somebody's getting their money from, more than this idea of coming in and people asking you for money, and you say, oh, kwa kampeni yangu nimetumia 4 billion, so I have to get it back. So kudos to KJ. I think it's wonderful.
Okay, and we also have a gentleman, I don't know who was doing this campaign, but basically his is one to do with tires. He's, Kitambo used to play with tires, and you had those tires which you...
Tairi.
Tairi.
Now, Tairi. But there's one now who's decided that, comedy is not my area, but Tairi ndio itafanya kazi. And if we can have pictures of those tires, I think he's distributing them to schools and giving them to children. But I don't know if it gets the message across when you have those tires with your name written all over and kids are rolling them all over.
What, for playing with? Those ones for tire?
Tire.
Desperate times.
Okay.
Yeah, we also have, it continues, and there is one now who has decided that him is actually going to be below the belt.
I saw that.
Literally speaking. And he's distributing, what did I call it? Labels. Underwear. And it reminds me of the days there used to be some very flashy underwear of 007, James Bond.
Yeah.
Oh, but
How did you know about that, Mike?
Well,
Mike, I think it's the best way you catch the attention of the people you're trying to get to. Huyu ataya.
like,
Amejaribu.
maybe akienda Ukambani. See here, cows have a way of...
No, we don't give them. There's no way you find kids play with tire Ukambani. We play with them here in the city. Like they
Ukambani hiyo ni mali.
They should.
It's valuable.
It's money. It's money.
Okay.
You don't play with money.
There. So, but again, just going back to politicians and the things they're doing to get attention and also to raise money. Like Erica said, like for example, for the concert, and I think worldwide, politicians have that space, of course, to approach people, organizations, and we've seen that even with the biggest campaigns, to raise money for them. Then later you can justify where you got all this money to campaign. I've seen that post for Boniface Monkey, even updated us the other day how much it raised out of these campaigns. I've seen that with Fresh.
Oh, has he hit $1 million yet?
no,
it
no,
was
160.
160,000.
Yes.
That's amazing.
And I think it's just be transparent and say at least you know where I got the money from.
And maybe that's a good direction to take, because politics has, for a long time, has been for the very, very, very rich.
Yes.
I said you really have to have a lot of money. So for somebody like Boniface Mwangi to say, look, we've come together and we've raised 160,000. We wish him all the best, but if you can get into a political seat with 160,000, I'm sure he's going to raise a bit more. That would be a good direction to take. But we also have the gentleman who I was hoping would have the one with underwear. But moving on, we also have
the fumigator.
Fumigator.
There's also the fumigator. There's also the cow. There's one who had literally, I don't know where they get their ideas from.
That one should be.
Sorry?
That one should be jail.
Okay,
That's a cow. So you are talking about, Stevens, you are talking about kucheza na pesa. Now this is not even taking it further. Yani, literally you've put it on a cow. I don't know where that cow goes.
I mean, as a newsmaker, I've just seen that cow is the one that's been pigiwad kura. So, I mean, during times when there's a lot of famine and I think animal people, activists, should come on board and wonder what you are doing to this cow. Really.
Because how long did it take to put that color? It's green.
The animal rights people might come out and say that, that's not right. But let's finish off with this gentleman from, I think it's Nakuru, who basically has decided to take it upon himself to finish bedbugs. So we'll have that story run. And this is an MCA wannabe in Nakuru, who basically decided that he's taking up the fight himself to have bedbugs eliminated.
Peter Kimani going on with what he has been doing for over the past 4 months. From a distance, one may think him and his colleagues are public health officers. The campaign period is here with us, and every aspiring candidate is out seeking to outwit their opponents. However, in Nakuru, there is one candidate who's seeking the Flamingo ward seat, who is using a different, rather a rare kind of campaign tool. He has been offering free fumigation services in Lakeview and Flamingo estates, where bedbug infestation thrives.
Tunaenda tu kwa kila face. Na hakika wale ambao tumepigia wananipigia simu usiku wananiambia asanti kiongozi, tumerara leo usiku kwa kitanda yetu. Na ukiona mwanaume akikupigia simu akikwambia amerara, kuongea ukweli inakuwa jasho, kwa sababu hakika hakuwa akilala usingizi kwa sababu ya shida kama hiyo.
According to a report from the Public Health Department, over 400 households are affected by bedbugs. The estates worst hit by bedbugs are Flamingo, Lakeview, Kivumbini, Ronda and Kaptembwa.
Naona ni muhimu hata kuliko kupewa pesa. Sababu pesa hiyo mtu hata ukipewa 200 leo, kesho hutapewa. Na hiyo 200 hutakula leo na kesho. Afadhali sasa usaidizi kama huu Mr. Kimani mtaratibu.
Hii imesubua karibu miaka 3. Tunapiga dawa na ishagi, tunapigia dawa na ishagi.
Hata mimi nimeshavamiwa na hiyo kunguni. Wakati nilivamiwa na nikasikia uchungu. Nikaona kabisa mimi kama naweza afford kununua hiyo chupa moja ya shilingi 1000, kuna jirani yangu ambaye hawezi afford kununua. So nikaamua nikasema hii kitu nitapigana naye kufa kupona. Na niliposa niona nilikuwa na timu. Nakuja na timu ya about 20 people ambao tunazunguka nao pamoja namna hiyo.
Peter Kimani will face off with 5 other aspirants as well as Moses Gishangi, who is the incumbent. Victor Gale, KTN News, Nakuru County.
All right, so there you go, the MCA who basically is killing bedbugs.
Can I tell you something, Mike? The unfortunate thing is that this guy might actually not be, he might not get that seat. Because that's how Kenyans operate.
But yeah. my issue with, well, this way of doing it is 2 things. One, I think you should look at a bigger plan, because if you're going to be the one as MCA going around killing beds, I don't know when you'll do your job, your actual
that's
job.
how people end up committing suicide.
Exactly.
You start praying 500 houses, then you get 14 votes.
Yes.
Number 2, chances are the minute he becomes MCA, that will be the last time you'll see him doing anything like that. So that's my problem with it. But your take.